my name is John Angrignon. I'm a Reconnective healing practitioner, a mentor, and a teaching assistant. And I'm here today to talk about reconnective healing and instinct, and how instinct has helped me in my life, and what instinct is, and how it's been part of my journey. So before I get totally into my journey, I'll talk about my feelings about instinct. Instinct to me is very primal, like a fight or flight sort of type thing. Something that wells up from inside you that you know you have to do. If you got a fire, your instinct's going to kick in and you're going to know what to do. And that's different than intuition. Intuition is, to me, instinct that's a bit clouded over by our ego, by our thoughts, by a mixture of different feelings we haven't acknowledged, different senses that we haven't acknowledged. And then we're working on our intuition, but it's more ego-driven, definitely. So, that is basically the same as feeling versus emotion. Emotion is one thing and feeling is another. Feeling is a very clear thing. When you feel a feeling, you know. And it can be to feel a feeling can sometimes be so liberating and so great for your own growth. And feelings are beautiful, but sometimes we avoid them. And one of the ways we avoid them is by getting into an emotional state where we sort of have meta feelings, or a bunch of feelings mixed up, or a bunch of feelings we haven't identified. But when we clear them up and go to the feeling, that becomes a time for growth. And that feeling can almost be seen as instinct, although it's a little bit different. But instinct really sort of takes us in certain directions, and instinct can be seen as coming from the heart, and intuition can be seen as coming from the mind. In my history, when I was younger, I remember having a water skiing accident. I hit the beach too fast, too hard, and went flying through the air. And my instinct kicked in, and I just ended up rolling on the sand like a ball. Somehow I rolled myself into a ball. No thought process involved there. It just happened. I saved myself maybe some serious injury. And when I was a little bit older, I was a young hippie on the streets of Vancouver. I ran into a crowd of bad people, and my instinct was clear as a bell. It was like a voice in my head that said, "Get away from these people. They're not good. It's not what you're here for. You're here to become a fully realized, self-actualized individual, not to hang out with some really bad people." And I just got up and walked away, and it was not all that certain that getting up and walking away was a safe thing to do at the time, but my instinct just guided me out onto the street and away from those people, and I never looked back. And so I really appreciate my instinct there. I spent a lot of my adult life skiing, and skiing was another place where instinct kicked in, especially if you're getting in a little bit of trouble. My instinct would lead me to, maybe slowing down or maybe taking a different way. But many times my instinct kicked in because skiing tends to be a bit fast and sometimes a bit dangerous of a sport. But I trusted my instinct, and I seemed to walk away with the sport with no serious injuries in my whole 40 years of skiing. But another way my instinct was really was interesting to me was that I used to be able to heal people sometimes. Not very often, but sometimes somebody would be in some distress, and I would walk up to them and say, "Can I touch you on your rib or on your back?" And I would, and the person would be better instantly. And I could never count on that being there, but when it did arise, it always kind of like left me wondering. And as I began my journey through life and my careers in life and business and everything, I went to university in my 30s, and then I went into business, but I kept choosing in the beginning to go in my instinct was to help people, and I chose those ways in the beginning, but I couldn't make them manifest till I was in my 50s. And looking back, I see my instinct was right, but I wasn't ready. I didn't have enough to offer people at that time. I just totally wasn't ready to help people. So I just avoided it till I was ready. And in my 50s, I became definitely sure that this is what I wanted to do. I quit my corporate job, and I went into massage therapy. So, and since that happened, I felt more like I'm really on the right path now. I'm really doing something that is good for me and good for other people. And so the path of my instinct led me to help others, and brought me a lot of love and joy and abundance, and it gave me a sense of purpose in my life. And the other times in my life when I was choosing different paths, I realized that I was choosing through my intuition, and the intuition was basically about helping myself and about getting money and being more superficial. It was more fear-based and less love-based, and it was a product of my own feel of lack and limitation that I couldn't manifest my path at that time. But eventually you get into your path. If you wait long enough, it'll sort of happen for you. And but interesting how my role in reconnective healing has all been based on instinct. And once I was doing massage therapy, when somebody gave me Eric Pearl's book, and my intuition said, "You don't need to read this book and put it away. It's kind of new age crap, And so I did. I put it away for a couple of years, and then one day my instinct kicked in. Oh my God! And it was like a dream. I walked over and picked up this book. I had no control over what was going on, and I knew I had to read that book. And then my instinct kicked in again, and I went right away as soon as I could to Los Angeles to take a training program, because reconnective healing had something special about it. And even after I took the training program, I had doubts, and those were solved just by witnessing what was going on with people healing and growing and evolving with reconnective healing. And right after I started practicing, I had again the instinct to go and take the reconnection myself and learn how to do it. And after I took the reconnection and learned how to do it, my instinct said to keep practicing this, get good at this. This is a really important gift to give to people. And I practiced every day so that I would really know if things, that I would have this muscle memory of how to perform the reconnection on people. And so there was this knowingness that came with listening to my instinct, a real good knowingness. It was really nice. And then I was invited to volunteer with the Reconnection group. They were doing a training seminar in Montreal. Right away, my intuition kicked in and said, no, that's going to cost too much money, blah, 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 blah. You're going to miss a week of work and all this stuff. But my instinct was saying to me, go, go, go. And I went. And it was so beautiful because I found my family. So there's this knowingness and this certainty that comes with listening to the instinct. I did some more volunteer work, and every time I was asked to do some work, or I volunteered for working with the Reconnection, it was just better and better all the time. I was really happy with my instinct to saying yes to all this work, and I just began to say yes to everything. And then the mentorship, and each time I did this, I felt better and better, and I felt my vibrational level was increasing each time I attended one of these reconnective healing events. And then I went and took the mentorship program, and that was even better. It just got better and better and better. It felt so good. And if I said yes to anything about reconnective healing, I would be so happy, because my instinct really knew that this was part of my purpose in life, was to help heal others and to heal myself. And if I said no, a lot of times it would lead to fear of missing out, and just fear in general. And a lot of times I would say no in my mind to something, but then when I said yes to my instinct, I would feel much better and feel much more open. And a couple other things, having now become a teaching assistant and a mentor with the Reconnection, I tend to travel a bit more to some of the teaching seminars, and just on my own I'll travel to go see clients around Western Canada, or I'm going to go to Australia. There's a couple of clients I have there. I'll go see, and it's led me to traveling a lot, which is my other love in life. My other passion besides helping people is traveling. So following my instinct in reconnective healing has led me to my passion in travel again. And And then I said yes to helping teach the Living in the Frequencies series, which I'm involved in right now. And that is an amazing series. And that was a huge bump in my levels, my vibrational levels again. It just took me up another notch or two. And then I said yes to this video. And I'm really enjoying doing this video on my favorite beach in the Spanish Banks in Vancouver. And I want you to know, if you can follow your instinct, you'll go to good places, you'll reach a higher and higher vibration and evolve, and you'll live in more love and joy. Coming to you from Spanish Banks in Vancouver, it's John Angrignon. I want to remind you to follow your instinct. And if you're involved in reconnective healing at all and want to become involved, it's going to really help you develop this reconnective healing. Helped me so much. My instinct was just so much clearer after that, and after I learned to say yes to positive things in my life. I used to be kind of a hesitant person and cautious, and now I just know what's right for me because my instinct is more finely honed. So, that being said, we'll talk to you later.